Very true. All right. Talking about someone who had a great performance this past weekend at UFC Des Moines, talking about a GOAT, talking about the number 9 ranked strawweight on this planet, one and only, Fight Bananas' own, Gillian the Savage Robertson. What's up, G?
What is up? How are you?
Doing good, my friend. How are you? Dude, I missed you so much Saturday night. I'm commentating boxing fights. L had to do the the ritual of the Fight Bananas post-fight winning conversation. So, G, I missed you immensely, but that smile speaks for itself. That was a good night. That was a good night.
Yeah, I really can't complain. Kind of went pretty ideally. Honestly, I have a little bit of a black eye. I think it's on this one. And it's from sparring today, not from the fight.
The shakes. Okay.
I came out of there pretty undamaged, back to training, feel good. And yeah, it feels good to see a number 9 next to my name.
Top 10 in the world. That's good. That's good. Grant, when are we going to be top 10, bro? When is this going to happen?
Man, I'm trying. I was top 10 at one point, and then I completely dropped the ball against Bobby Green. So for me, I'm just working on building my way back, but it's gonna happen soon.
For sure. That's for sure. I think, Grant, you got top 3, number 1, championship written all over yourself. John, do you have to run, my man? Yep, he does. Okay, yep. There's John. He said he had a dip, and that was an Irish walk away. I did that actually Saturday night after the fights. We're having a couple maybe cold drinks by the bar, and I was like, no. All right, I had one. I got to get going. So there's my thing. Gee, incredible show, Iowa. So I didn't text you this, but I wanted to. I think I reached out to you once during the week. You looked like amazing. You sounded amazing. You felt like in a great spot. This is someone seeing your stuff through social media. Did you feel, and did you you could just tell you were in a great spot on fight week?
Oh yeah, 100%. I feel like everything was just great. I was just super thankful for every single moment of it. My weight cut went absolutely perfectly. I woke up at 116.8 on weigh-in morning. So it was literally 0.8 I had to get off. I ended up sweating 2 pounds. So before I got on the scale, I had a little bit of pineapple and a little bit of water. So it's like I was able to rehydrate a little bit before I even got on the scale.
That's insane.
So it's like weight cut went absolutely perfect. Fight day, I've honestly just never been so excited to fight before. I was just ready to go out there and perform. A large part of it, I think, is being out of the apex. I just couldn't wait to be in an arena. I kept on picturing that moment over and over of just walking out. The energy in Iowa was absolutely insane. Literally from the first fight, the stands were almost packed, already, completely full from the first fight. It was great energy out there. And then obviously I couldn't have asked for my performance to go, I guess, more ideally. I was in and out of there, didn't take any damage, got a finish. So pretty ideal weekend.
Oh, looks like he froze.
Oh.
Is G frozen?
No, you're frozen. Technology, right?
Oh, and he's back.
There we go.
Grant, you were hosting there for a minute, brother. You're doing it.
This is my show now. That's all I'm saying is,
there you go.
You keep what you kill. So Dave's out, I'm in.
I like it. G, we made that post. I think you talked to the UFC. That's where we saw the Fight Bananas. We got a great picture of you. We posted it. You literally said, "Oh, I'm really feeling a second round finish." How did you know it? Were you waiting to go to the second round so you can absolutely be perfect and be right? Why did you think the second round was when you were going to get the job done?
I think even the second part of that quote was, I think it might be a submission, but for some reason I'm feeling a TKO.
Look at that. I didn't listen to the video long enough. I cut it.
Even got it more pinpoint. Yeah. So if you look at my UFC record, I have 10 finishes total. 2 of them in the first round, 1 in the third, and the other 7 are second round finishes. So it seems to be I feel like my first round kind of find my holes, wear them down a little bit, and second round I'm always able to find the finish. So it's that seems to be my round. So I think it's a fairly safe bet to always bet on me for a second round finish.
Let me make a note real quick. Gillian Robertson, second round finish. Okay, I got that note.
I feel that way too. I feel like the second round is always my best round, where it's like people's power have gone down a little bit. I've got the timing of the fight going. The nerves have settled down a little bit. I'm the same way. And then the third round, I'm like usually up by 2, and I'm just like, man, don't screw this up. And I'm a little tired. Like, can we just get this over with? 5 minutes is a long time.
Exactly. No, I feel like you said, I feel like it's like first round, you got to kind of feel them out a little bit, find where your holes are. And then the second round, you can capitalize. So
well,
like,
everybody's dangerous in the first round as well. Everyone is so dangerous in the first round.
Oh yeah. And it's like they have that little bit of extra energy, that little bit of extra adrenaline where they're trying to push a little bit harder. And then you can really wear them down and also just like mentally wear them down. I feel like it's like in this fight, Marina, I felt like was mentally ready to give up by the second round. Like even I felt like my second takedown was pretty far out, wasn't a great shot. And yeah. I felt like she just I knew she was going to fall over. I knew it was going to be easy to get the takedown. She I will give her credit. I'm like, it was a good attempt on the ninja choke. At no point was it choking me, but it was a good thought. I feel like it was a good shot. And I definitely had to respect it and defend it before, like she could have readjusted, got it tighter, whatever. But I'm like, I felt like it was a good attempt from her, but obviously I feel like after that, she was just broken and ready to give up.
I got a Marina thing here in a second, but I know I saw you in the green room. I know you overheard it. I'm telling you, G, it's like, I can't even express to you this feeling. I don't know, like it's more of a statement than a question to you. I'm literally calling fights. I'm in 2 states away from Florida. I'm calling boxing fights. And I'm having kind of strangers or guys, I just acquaintances, if you want to say, they like bring me their film. They're like, look, Gillian just won. It's like, yeah, that's my friend. I'm the Gillian guy. It's so cool. It's like, I'm out of you 2 guys out of every fighter, anyone I've ever talked to, Grant and Gillian, everyone knows I'm the Grant guy. I'm the Gillian guy.
We'll let Elle know next time she fights.
We do hold that record.
You know that so. Guy. What'd you say, G?
We do hold that record.
Thank you. Yeah. I saw a lot of Gillian, if I could say that was my only grief of the weekend. A lot of like, yeah, I got record. I didn't say a lot of wheeze, but next time.
We'll talk about that.
I'm pretty sure, I hope, next fight, because I was really Iowa, I talked to Elle about this. That was on my radar. Like I really wanted to go to Iowa for your fight. And then I got this show kind of come up and, it's a paycheck and kind of, you got to do what you got to do. But hopefully the next one I'm there live in the building, so that'd be cool.
Hopefully the next one, Amanda Lemos will be across the cage for me.
Okay. Let's talk about that. I love the call out. It was something I think I heard you afterwards say like, yeah, this was the name you were thinking about calling out from the get-go.
Oh yeah. As soon as I saw her last fight, honestly, it was the winner of that fight that I was really watching. Okay. It was her and Eisman Lucindo. She was able to get the victory. I feel like watching that fight, I feel like it's a great matchup for me. Yeah. I think that's a good jump going from 9 to number 4. I'm like, I don't think it's asking for too much, but so I think it would just be an ideal jump up and then maybe one more, maybe not, and we'll be looking at a title.
For sure. Back to Marina real quick. One last thing on her. Did you have any inkling that she was thinking about it or anything through the week that you're like, oh, this might be my last one? Did you hear anything like that at all? Because all of a sudden you won. She's taking off her gloves. I'm like, whoa, is this happening? Like, did you have any inkling at all?
No, I did not have any inkling that she was going to retire. So like I kind of already had like what I wanted to say post-fight about like, I'm trying to retire all these girls. I want Amanda Lemos next. And I see her taking off her gloves and I went up to my corner. I was like, oh, this might be mean. Like, I'm going to say it anyway, but yeah, I didn't know she was going to retire.
Wow. That's crazy. Grant, did you ever fight someone that you thought maybe on an L? I think Joe Selecki, I think that was his last fight was against you. Did you ever fight someone that you thought he fought one more time?
Yeah, he fought one more time and then he was going to get cut from the UFC. So he retired, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Have you ever fought anyone like that if you beat him, they thought could have been done for him?
Not in the UFC. I definitely fought a bunch of old dudes that couldn't walk straight outside the UFC, and it was kind of hit or miss with those guys. But I say the closest was I fought a guy named Demir, and Demir fought Arman Sarukian.
Yeah.
He had a good fight with him, ends up losing a decision, and then retires after the fight, and then decides to come back and fight me. And so in my head, I was kind of like, he's kind of out of it. He's kind of in it. Like I really don't think that he kind of knows what he wants to do. So he might retire after this one. It's not a huge issue for me, like a win's a win. And honestly, if you have somebody that's pretty good and they end up retiring after you, that's kind of a good thing, because then it doesn't make you look bad when they go on a 6 or 7 fight losing streak after you beat them. Because all the guys that I end up beating are all like undefeated, really good, never been submitted, and then as soon as I beat them, they go on like a 3-fight losing streak, and I'm just like, gosh dang it, can you guys not look good for 2 more fights after I fight you?
I love it. I love it. Gee, I got so much more for you. You said a line there too during the thing, and I've always known you as a very nice savage, and you're like, I think the line was no more nice savage. Is that for like fight week, just for kind of you going forward? What was that? What was the meaning behind that line?
I was just saying that, like, I'm ready to make my call outs, like,
okay.
I'm ready to call my shots. I wanted Amanda Lemos. I don't I'm ready for like these shots, so that's really it. It's just that, and obviously Angela Hill brought out a little bit more of that later in the week, but
yes. I wasn't all my notes. She is not on my list. G, you said it. I was trying to almost stay away from it.
But since you brought it up,
I'm still not going to. That's a good host. That's a good friend. I'm gonna put that to bed. We're past it, Grant. We're past it. We're
exactly.
moving by that.
What are we past? Wait. What are we? I'm confused. What are we past?
Okay. Angela Hill and G was maybe supposed to fight a year ago or 8 months ago, something like that. But G just fought, and the weight cuts. I think, Grant, you can kind of talk about this a lot. After a fight, you just need some time. You need a time before you fight again. And I think and G, am I saying this right? You were offered a fighter. It wasn't enough time. So G just said, hey, I can't fight you right now. We can do it at a different date or maybe, down the road. But just the fight never happened. G just keeps on winning fights because that's what a savage does. And now Angie keeps on bringing that up, that you did the ducking, if you want to say that you never fought me.
G keeps on winning fights and Angie keeps on win, loss. There
you go. There's the savage I know and love. There we go.
Right.
So so now Angela Hill, of course, after G wins, she's in the top 10. She's got a lot of buzz around her name, like always, at least from Fight Bananas land. But, she's got a lot of buzz. So Angela Hill is bringing that up right now.
Yeah. I'm not a big Angela Hill fan. So, yeah, we could talk on this podcast.
She's 0-3 on this. She's doesn't make the cut. One guy I'm a huge fan of, and maybe Grant, you are too. And I think G knows where I'm going with this. Charles Oliveira. So Charles Oliveira had a run in the UFC, maybe got in the UFC a little early, win, loss, kind of maybe moving weight classes, just not really finding his foot in. And then all of a sudden had one of the greatest lightweight runs in the history of the sport. And I've been saying, G's been saying that she's the female Charles Oliveira. And, got into the UFC maybe a tad early. G, if you were outside the UFC, you would be 9-1 or 9-0 when you got in here. Got in early on the Tough House. Had back and forth, maybe fought a female who got popped on steroids for a second or third time. Maybe not. You can look that up, people, if you want to. But now you're winning. You're a strawweight, and it seems like you're on this run. You're stopping girls. I've said it. This is the championship run that we all think that you're on. To me, you're the female Charles Oliveira. I've been saying it.
No, I 100% think that this is the championship run that I'm finally on. It's funny because I'm like, I had an interview last week and the guy was asking me, he was like, he's like, how does it feel going into this, being a little bit older, when you're young and you're getting into fights, you're a little bit more like willing to do things. When you're older, you're taking things a little bit slower. I'm like, I'm just going to be 30 like this month. Like, I'm not that old yet, guys. I've just been in the UFC for a while. So I feel like people just assume that I am older because I got in a little bit too young. I was 22 when I got signed. I was only 3-2. So I didn't even have a lot of experience necessarily. But, and I got all of that learning experience on the big stage. But I feel like now it's like, that was my 19th fight in the UFC. I've got everything that I need. I know what I've matured as a fighter, and it's like those UFC jitters aren't there anymore. You know, it's like I've gotten all that out of the way, and I just feel like I said, like I've never been so excited to fight. Honestly, the worst part is sitting at the hotel and just the waiting game all day long. I feel like anxious sitting in the hotel waiting, but the second I get to the arena, I just feel like a kid at Disney World. You know, I can't stop smiling. I'm so excited. I just love being there. It's just such a great opportunity to go out there and perform.
Grant, if you have something next, please ask away. You mentioned the crowd like a couple times and just the how packed it was and how loud it was. Are you the next fight that comes your way, you know, through Dean Thomas and he texts you on the WhatsApp? Are you going to be like, hey, is this in the Apex? Hey, is this a crowd? Does that matter to you? It does seem like you kind of, if I could say, elevate your game. You do have like this another savage level when there's a packed house. You know, you kind of take the savagery to another level. Do you want to make sure you're with a crowd or an Apex main event?
So I feel like if you want to be a champion, you have to perform anywhere. So you have to be ready for anything. If it's in like Abu Dhabi at 2 a.m. or if it's during COVID, we had absolutely nobody in there, absolutely no crowd. So I feel like no matter what, you have to learn to adjust to those things. It definitely is. I don't know if it's completely the Apex. I feel like it is some part of, for me, I don't know what it is. I feel like when I'm more nervous, more scared, I perform better. And I feel like this fight, I had a little bit more of that. Like I respect Marina. I like literally all week long, I was telling myself, I'm like, you're going to get cut. It doesn't matter. You stay in her face, you walk forward. Like I was expecting her to come at me with elbows and knees and things like that, you know, where I'm like, I have a lot of respect for Marina, and where I feel like that really elevates my game and makes me, every time I am like more nervous for a fight, I guess necessarily, that's when I perform better. But the Apex also might be part of it. So it's like, it's definitely something that I might need to get over mentally. But if I want to be a champion, then I have to get over it. Like you have to be able to perform anywhere, anytime, like all over the world, if you do really want to be a champion.
The belt is literally called the World Championship, not the American Championship, not the Apex Championship. If I want to be a world champion, I have to be able to fight anywhere in the world at any time. So like I love that mentality. I enjoy the Apex. I feel like I'm one of the very few guys that like actually enjoys the Apex. People are usually booing me anyway, so it's like the less people there, the better. But I treat fight day as casually as I can. I try to just, I watch cartoons, I hang out with my wife, I'm joking around. The looser that I can be going into the fight, it seems like the better I do. And so for me at the Apex, I'm super comfortable with the Apex. I'm super comfortable with everything there. I've been there a million times. It's just like another day. It's almost like a training session for me. But you're absolutely right. Being able to step on any canvas in any country, any continent in the world, and be able to perform, that's what makes a world champion. So like a lot of respect for that.
Yeah, like you said, fight day, literally, I ended up getting a couple coloring books from the hotel gift shop, and that's what I was doing all fight day, was just coloring.
When I fought Joe Selecki, Elle and I started the Scooby-Doo Zombie Island movie, and we got like halfway through, had to leave for the venue, got done, came back and finished the movie. It was just like another day, you know.
I was watching School of Rock too. That was the movie.
Love
that was my
love that.
Yeah,
that's a great Jack Black movie.
Exactly.
Top two. Could be his best too. Could be his best.
Yeah, could be. I'm a big Kung Fu Panda fan though.
Okay, yeah. Those are great. There's a great post. Jack Black had to pick his movies out of like what was his favorite out of his own movies. It was a great post.
What was his favorite?
They never got down to the finals, but he picked School of Rock over Nacho Libre. He heard like that's like his two biggest.
I've never seen Nacho Libre.
Nacho Libre, I tried to put on with my boyfriend recently, and we got like 20 minutes into it. He's like, I just can't do this. It's too much.
Yeah. I'm kind of the same way. I've seen those trailers, and my brother tried to get me to watch it, and I was just like, I'm gonna go play with Legos.
Well, we all know, Grant, you don't watch anything that anyone ever tells you to, okay? Someone has a great
You're
show
still
for you.
on this. You're
Nope, I'm not
still
on it.
on this.
I'm not on it, Grant.
Oh my gosh.
Not on
Oh my God. Grow up, David. Grow up.
it. Not on it. G, did you see or hear? Maybe you talked to Dean about it personally. Dean's was on Anik and Florian's show during the week. They had a great thing on you, and then even afterwards, of course, you win, and Anik and Florian brought you kind of back up from that. Did you kind of see that whole segment?
I saw a little clip on Instagram from the segment previous to the fight. I didn't see the segment after the fight, though.
Yeah, they were very high on. Finally, John Anik is listening to Dave Van Auken over here at Fight Pass. They're like, dude, we didn't really knew how great she was and the savage, and she was talking, and I was like, yeah. This has been a 5-year thing, guys. So, yeah, this is she's been under the organization this whole time, John. So great.
It's longer than that now. I'm like, we're going on year 8 here.
It's crazy. Love it. Did you see anything else on UFC Iowa? Of course, the thing that kind of came from your show even was even higher than Corey Sandhagen's win was kind of Bo Nickal's loss. That's what kind of everyone's talking about. Did you see any of that? Or of course, Corey Sandhagen, I know you were kind of a fan of Corey, rooting for him. 2 big outcomes there.
Yeah, I think I saw a little bit of the Sandhagen fight. I saw the finish. I think Sandhagen is approaching the game very smart now.
Yeah.
And I think he has a very smart corner too. I was saying that before the fight. I love Ryan Hall and Trevor Whitman in the corner there. I'm like, I feel like, I thought it was an impressive performance by him. And I kind of expected the Bo Nickal fight. I honestly thought it might have been a submission. I expected Renier de Ritter to win.
Wow.
But
okay.
I just feel like Bo's been, I don't know, pushed a little bit too hard, too fast. I don't really feel like he's necessarily, proved himself in any way. Not saying that de Ritter has necessarily, but he's had 2 quick wins in the UFC. Now this is a 3rd, but where I feel like he is kind of proving himself now.
The thing that I saw, and I think we can all go back to it now, like afterwards, D. Ritter was a 2 weight class champion for 1. That was his 27th professional MMA fight. Like, the guy's just been around forever. He's done that walk, been in the cages, been winning first rounds, losing first rounds, kind of just going back and forth. And Bo just hasn't done that much, especially in the octagon. A couple of his wins where, now gets the best competition really early. He just needs more time. He just needs more seasoning. And I don't want to say shocked, but I thought Bo was going to win. I did predict Bo beforehand. And then afterwards, I'm like, yeah, wow. D. Ritters just went right through him.
Yeah, I definitely thought that this was his first, very tough matchup for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you guys are saying. Bo is a good friend of mine, and I guess my question to you guys would be what is a guy of his level supposed to do? Because he's not coming into the UFC super famous because he's a great fighter. He's coming into the UFC because he was a really good wrestler, a really famous wrestler, and I absolutely love him coming into the UFC, coming into MMA, because as we know, and it's changing a little bit, but as we know, there isn't money in wrestling outside of the top guys. So if you're somebody that's above average wrestler, but below greatness wrestler, you have an avenue to make money and continue to wrestle and continue to grapple. And that's doing MMA. And I love the fact that Bo is coming in here and stepping up against the highest level of competition with literally 6 fights. I think that he does need more time. He needs more time to develop, but he was never going to get with how famous he is in wrestling. He was never going to get that regional scene. I was 11-1 before I got my Contender Series fight, and I was 8-1 as an amateur, and then I had 22 backyard fights before that. So I was able to gain all of that MMA experience before jumping onto the big show and then fighting these higher level guys. And I would say that Bo has more attention on him, more eyes on him, so he has to deal with that pressure a lot more. I don't think I totally get what you guys are saying. I don't think he's getting enough credit for what he's done with literally 8 fights.
Grant, my thing is, I don't think he should. The only thing he should change is actually fight more. I think he kind of sometimes goes away too much. I don't mind the loss thing at all. You know, I know it sounds cool. You two guys are my absolute favorite fighters in the world. You guys are my 2 world champions. You know, Grant, you have 1 L recently. G, you have a couple L's. L's don't bother me at all. I think you guys are better than ever right now in May of 2025. I'm not discouraged about Bo's L, not at all. The one thing I will say, I was discouraged on what I saw in there and the level, and just when you got hit a certain way, he was like, no, like back to I didn't see Bo fighting. I saw Bo competing. And when the competition wasn't going well, I'm not going to use that Q word. I just saw this isn't my natural spot. Like, he just seemed like he was out of sorts. And I think the only way he can get that is probably more of that. So I just want to see, and I think let's look at Bo's last 2 or 3 fights. He takes these mega gaps, and it's probably not Bo's doing. He just needs to fight more to get more organic in there.
So how is Bo supposed to get more experience? You know that it's harder than ever. Yeah, especially for men to find fights in the UFC because everybody wants to pick and choose their fights. And so you look at Bo, and it's a lose-lose situation for a lot of guys. If I beat him, they say he sucks and he's not ready and you know, he wasn't good enough and he needs more experience. If I lose to him, I lost to a guy with 8 fights. You know, I think it is a lot more difficult than you think for guys to find fights. Me being somebody, I think it's hard for me to find fights because I'm very, very high risk and very, very low reward. If you beat me, not a lot of people know who I am, but also I'm really, really good. So your odds of beating me go way down. And I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but you get what I'm saying. It's hard for a guy like me to find a fight because I'm a tough fight. Even if you do beat me, which absolutely can happen, you're probably not going to get as much out of it as you would beating Gamrot or you know, Moicano or Dariush or something like that.
Sure. G, I know you had a couple things in there.
Oh no, I forgot my point at this point.
Okay.
So.
That's because I'm rambling on. I apologize.
No, it's just like, back to like, I don't know. Yes, this is that is Gillian the effing savage. That is true.
That says fucking.
Okay. Wow.
Sorry.
Relax. My bad. I was going to show this show to my son. Now I can't. By the way, first boxing class last week, Ran. I'm pretty pumped. He was started moving the head. I was like, get your head off the center line, Colin.
Hey, once he reaches old enough to train, let me know, and I'll get him into ATT. He can come train with the big dogs.
Wow, there we go. Move him down there to Coconut Creek. Maybe he can help babysit. By then you might have like a 2 or 3 year old by then. You know, he can help babysit.
We'll see.
We'll see. I love it. Gee, man, that was insane. I do from afar. I loved that you got, and I don't know if you saw it too. You got a lot of media, a lot of like, I felt this was the win that I felt you got the most from. Like, people are like, oh, top 10. They want you to have a big fight. They want you to have on a pay-per-view versus a Limoges or a Verna, whatever happens. I heard Mackenzie Dern main event. This seems like you're getting all this time, all this effort, all these years, 8 years in the game. Seems like right now, May of 2025, everyone's like, oh, let's get Gillian a big fight now. It's like, let's go. It's just got to be the best, most rewarding feeling, I would assume.
Yes, but I'm like, I feel like if it's a win or a loss, I try not to, I guess, like,
sure,
hold on to it for too long.
Sure.
I'm like, we're not there yet, you know? It's like, we got a long ways to the belt still. And then once we get there, everybody's going to be coming after me. So I got to keep on it. So I'm like, the journey never ends, you know? So I feel like, yeah, I'm happy, but I'm ready to get back to work.
That's, if I could say, and Grant, I think is very similar in that path. That's the difference between world-class athletes and a normal dad like myself. I had a pretty good job on the commentary desk. I had like 3 White Claws afterwards. I was celebrating. Life was great. You know, I got a win and I was done. So that's the difference right there. Your guys' mindset.
I totally agree with you. I am the exact same way. As soon as I win, the next day I'm literally like, I got to get back to work. We got to get after it. We got to get going. one thing that I'm, not that I'm like too much older or that much more experienced or anything like that than you, but like one thing that I myself am trying to do is I'm trying to remember that the adventure is the fun part. Finding the treasure is cool, but looking for it was really what was fun. And so I'm really trying to remember to enjoy my wins and enjoy myself when I do have a good performance. And it's hard because I'm such a competitor and I want to get right back at it. But one thing that I did that I really regret doing was after my UFC debut, I cried. And I didn't cry because I was so happy that I was finally in the UFC. I cried because I didn't finish the guy. And I thought, like, how am I going to be able to compete at the highest level if I can't even finish the guys at the low level? And it really just ruined my UFC debut for me when I should have been so happy that I just dominated all 3 rounds of my UFC debut. And I'm finally here somewhere I wanted to be since I was 15 years old. So stopping and enjoying the adventure, I think, does bring a lot of benefit as well.
Like, that's where I might disagree. I'm like, I'm still gonna be upset at every single time I don't finish. I'm gonna be mad. I'm like, that's just how. I'm like, my last fight, I was super upset. I'm like, I didn't get the finish. This one, even this, I'm like, my first thing, it's like I go and rewatch the fight and I'm making my judgments. Like I made a judgment earlier. I told you my second shot was pretty far out. It wasn't a great shot. There's a lot of things that I'm already analyzing the fight and trying to see where I can get better. And for me, though, Dean made a similar comment to me a couple years ago. He's like, your life goes by so fast in fight camps because like these like 8 to 12 weeks are literally gone like that. You're just so focused. He's like, you have to enjoy the process. You have to enjoy that. Like when you sign that contract and you're super excited, you need to carry that energy all through fight week, all through your fight. And I'm like, that's where I try to be grateful. That's where I really try to take it in. And I feel like all through fight week, I'm just like literally all week long, I'm looking at the UFC on my gloves. I'm looking at everything. It's just like the whole experience, like going to get your pictures taken with the UFC, going to even the fact of like weigh-ins and all that. I'm like, I was just thankful for every single moment and trying to take it in. Being backstage, I'm like, there's just like that little bit of nerves, but excitement. And it just feel like I just try to take in those moments and really just appreciate where I'm at. And because it's like, I do love this more than anything. And your retirement fight's going to come up fast. And when it does, I'm like, that's going to break my heart. So I try to love every single moment from the beginning to every single moment in the cage, everything. I love it all.
Well, and I totally agree with what you're saying about the finishes too. And I think for, we're both grapplers. I think we get immediately stamped with, I don't know how you feel. This is how I feel. I immediately get stamped with this, oh, you're a grappler. If you aren't finishing, you're boring. And so there's always a lot of pressure on me to go in there, get the finish, because I'm going to fight the way I'm going to fight. Like if I'm not shooting, something must be wrong with my neck, because I'm going to go get in there and I'm going to get the takedown. And for me, it's like the only way that I can really make this more exciting is by getting a finish, is by showing that these grown men feel like children to me when I get them down and having to put them away. And I totally agree with Dean as well. Really good comments there by him is enjoying this process, and that retirement fight is literally a blink away, that, oh my goodness, this might be the last time I walk to the cage as a competitor is literally like a nap away from being right in front of you. And it's actually a really scary like thing to think about.
Oh yeah, 100%. I feel like with the decisions too, I'm like, just the way my career has went in the UFC, I think I've just made such a habit. Well, like I've 10 finishes, 3 decisions, where it's like when I do reach that decision, it just doesn't feel like I've really reached my potential. Oh,
right. Totally agree.
Well, you guys said it a lot better than I'm probably going to say it, but dude, incredible. You guys are just saying so much about journey stuff and adventure stuff and all this.
Because we're old.
Yes, well, me especially, but like Fight Bananas, it's been 6 years, 7 years ago. I still don't know what the ending is. I don't know what will be the end of all this. And it's amazing some of the stuff I have done personally. But I was just like in this moment right now. I'm literally talking with my 2 favorite people, my 2 favorite fighters in all the fight game. We're just laughing, going back and forth with it. It's the best. I'm so appreciative of both of you guys. And I think both of you guys know that very much. It's crazy. All three of us in a weird way are living all of our dreams, and it's awesome that it can all intersect once in a while. What a life, guys. What a life. Top 10 strawweight in the world. One of the best lightweights, soon to be world champion. Probably a new champion, by the way, Grant. Everything I've been hearing. It's Ilya and Charles Oliveira headlining UFC 317, coming to a Las Vegas arena near you soon. Crazy.
Is that confirmed? 1, 2,
No,
is that interim, or is that
no? So everything we've all been on this, right? Islam wants to move up to welterweight, and he's waiting for Bilal to, I hate to say this, maybe lose. I just heard today that he's moving up regardless. Like, he's moving up, and they're going to make 317 for the champion. They want this fight to happen because if Jack Della Maddalena wins, they can say, hey, Islam's moving up fighting for the champion. We got Ilya and Charles. I think Islam's moving up regardless, even if Bilal wins, and I don't know what they're going to do up there. That might get funky, and they're going to let that go. But, it looks like it's going to be Ilya and Charles will headline 317.
I'll tell you what's going to happen if Islam does move up to 170. He's going to fight Bilal. Listen, I've been in this game for a long time. I've trained with a lot of Russians. And listen, let me finish my sentence before you start judging me. These Russians are my teammates and my friends, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they think I'm their teammate and friend. Yeah. They are very pro each other. So we could have the same religion. We could train in the same gym. We could train with each other for 15 years. But if you aren't also Russian, there's a part of me that's okay fighting you. And I absolutely think that Islam Makhachev, assuming Bilal Muhammad wins, and assuming Islam goes up, will be Bilal Muhammad's next fight. And I don't think he's going to have a choice.
I totally agree. And like I said, I fell asleep twice watching that countdown show. One of the things that I stayed up when I watched it, Bilal Muhammad made a new gym. Like, he is not training over there anymore with those guys. He made a new gym in Chicago. He's training in Chicago, but he also has like a home gym that he's building from scratch. Coaches coming in around him, like calling it a champ camp. He's not training over there anymore. It's happening. It's happening. It's like everyone knows there's these big secrets in the fight game. That fight is going to happen. I don't know if it's going to be next, because I think all three of us have Bilal winning, right? I think. Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. So I think it's going to be Bilal and Islam next, and Ilya and Charles. And it's crazy, Grant. I always think of you. You told me this one of the first times you and I ever talked. You had like this rocky kind of picture of Islam Makhachev as the champion. You want to crumple that picture one day. You're his replacement. Looks like it's not going to be Islam. It's going to be Ilya or Charles. And I hate to say it. I know this sounds bad. I'm rooting for Charles because I love that fight for you. I love the Charles fight for you, especially, Grant.
Yeah. I mean, I've always said this. I don't care who I beat to become world champion. If I beat Islam Makhachev and become world champion, or I beat my mom to become world champion, I'm still world champion. You have to remember the golden rule. He who has the gold rules. So that's what it's about for me. I don't care about the past. Let's say I beat Islam, they'll just say I never beat Khabib. Let's say I beat Islam and Khabib, they'll just say I never beat BJ Penn in his prime. It doesn't matter who you beat. They're always going to say something. I'm not trying to be the greatest of all time. I'm trying to be the greatest of my time. So give me the belt. I don't care who I have to beat to do it. I just want to be champion for one night. One night I could put my head on my pillow and go to sleep saying that I am the best fighter in the UFC. That's what I want. The echo's too loud.
The best. Well, we're closing it. We're calling it a show. I'm not going to do anything after this. I can't do any better on Fight Finesse than talking with Gillian and Grant Dawson at the same time. We've had some of the best fighters in the world, maybe like Poirier and others. Doesn't matter. These are my two favorite people on the planet in the fight game, other than my baby sister, Elle Dawson. But love you two guys very much. You're the best. G, you had the best weekend ever. So happy, so proud of you. It's the first thing I texted you, just how proud I was. Grant, can't wait. Hopefully, fight news in the horizon. We'll see, maybe July, August, September, October. I don't know. One of those months you'll fight, right?
It's going to happen eventually. They can't say no forever.
Awesome. Appreciate you both, guys. We'll see everyone next week, next Tuesday. Hopefully Elle feels better soon, and we'll see everyone next Tuesday day. Later.